Oh man, so a strong day for crypto, and a lot of you have been asking me what are my price targets for Polkadot, for MATIC, for Chainlink. So in this video, a quick run through all three of these, and you're going to be shocked with some of my projections on where some of these tokens can go. As you guys know, these are three tokens which I've continually DCA'd into ever since I've been making content over a year ago. You guys have been seeing I've been making videos about these three stable, what I like to refer to as blue chip companies, right? I don't get distracted by smaller market cap companies, and these are the three that I've continually had faith in and continue to add to my portfolio, despite my cost basis going up at some points when Bitcoin was running up to 69,000. Now, let's take a quick look at Bitcoin first of all, because you can see Bitcoin is starting to cool off, and this isn't a warning. We're going to come back to this shortly because this could have an impact on some of the breakouts we're seeing on MATIC, Chainlink, and DOT. But before that, if you've not seen my video on MATIC from a couple of days ago where I provide a detailed price breakdown on MATIC, make sure you go watch that. I'll link that up here for you guys to watch. But as you can see, huge moves here on Polygon MATIC, the layer 2 scaling solution on Ethereum. And if you guys were successful in dollar cost averaging on this range, you would surely be benefiting here on the run up now as MATIC head towards $1. Now, as you can see, it's broken through the key resistance levels around the 0.69 mark. Remember, we had our first level at 0.55. We've broken through that 0.69, 69 cents now cleared through that at comfort. And the next resistance level is going to come in at $1.04 on MATIC. So looking quite successful here. And if Bitcoin can continue its momentum to the upside, there is no reason Polygon will not explode. And that's important to understand right now. The coins which are moving very fast are those which have made good technological and fundamental advancements. They've not put a foot wrong, and the only reason they were retraced this far down was because the wider markets were down. Not even just Bitcoin, the wider global markets. And we've been talking about that for many months now, right? But that's the patience we need to have. If your project was falling and you had the conviction to dollar cost average in, you're going to be rewarded right now with these huge pumps from here on MATIC. I mean, you're talking about a huge pump from just above 31 cents all the way now back up to 90 cents. Really big moves here just to reward your conviction in buying this project when it was at lows. Now, in terms of its longer term price target, I've left my video there explaining everything, but at the very least, you would expect this to come back to its Fibonacci retracement 0.61 to 0.65 and retrace back to the $2 mark. So huge risk to reward trade here in your favor on Polygon MATIC. Now, if I bring out the EMA ribbon, what you'll notice here is on the daily, you are now comfortably above your EMA ribbon, which is really impressive here in this type of a market where Bitcoin has not yet managed to make this move. And even if we head on over to the weekly chart, you will see now that this is where it starts to become interesting because you're starting to run into resistance on the EMA ribbon. Now, Polygon has caught up all of this amount, right? It was super retraced like many other coins were, and now it's gone back into its EMA. And the question is, will the wider market rally and start to be able to do this? Or will Polygon just now get rejected by its EMA ribbon and start heading to the downside? That is what we'll need to watch out for. And I'm going to come back onto what Bitcoin is doing right now because that's critical as well. Moving on, we also have DOT, Polkadot, another great project, something I've been adding as well. I was pretty disappointed towards the back end of 2021. They did really well from a fundamental perspective. The launch of their parachains, the auctions went really well. Some really great projects being launched as parachains on the network. Kusama was doing really well as well, but it just wasn't reflecting in the token price. And then obviously, like the rest of coins, Polkadot took a big retracement to the downside as well. Now, if we look at the daily chart, we're seeing that we're starting to get this break of trend. If I remove that, just tidy up the chart a little bit here, you will start to see that we're breaking this trend. If you look at the green line, we're getting this break of trend, and the volume looks pretty decent today, if I may say so. You'd probably want a little bit more, and you want another green candle opening up tomorrow. And if you took this trade, which you guys can do so using BYBIT or BitGet, you have a few take profits. I mean, you could take your first one tentatively here at $8.48, and then you'd want to be looking at $10.76, and even at the top of the wedge at a push of $12.55 if there's a tailwind from Bitcoin. So a lot of opportunity here on Polkadot. And then finally, Link. Link is also trying to break out. As you can see on this particular candle, we're losing a little bit of steam here on Link, right? You're losing a little bit of steam, and this is because of Bitcoin. I'm going to explain exactly what's happening. But if you can get a volume breakout, again, right now the volume is not looking fantastic, but if we can get a volume green candle pushing through this green line, plus another green candle following thereafter, thereafter, your technical price target, first target would be $9.60, and then I'll be looking at the top of the wedge at $12.34. So those are my short-term targets on the three of these projects. If you guys want to look at my slightly longer-term targets, I mean, for Chainlink, again, very comfortably, I expect this to go to its 0.618 to 0.65 level at 36 cents. I mean, that wouldn't even be a surprise for me, given the type of project this is. Chainlink is the de facto data oracle. Like, if you ask any smart contract developer, what would happen if we switch Chainlink off for you? They would panic. The networks would go down. Smart contracts would struggle. So, huge platform. And same with Polkadot. Like, when you look at how much they've achieved, I mean, it's an absolute no-brainer for them to work their way comfortably, in my opinion, back up to this 36 to 38 region on Polkadot, which is why I'm so enthused about these three projects. I mean, for me, when I look out there on what other projects are going to get these kind of risk to rewards, you're taking more of a risk with more riskier projects, slightly lower market cap projects, less proven projects. These are three projects which were leading the pack for a very long time. For me, for Polygon to get into the top 10 is, you know, it's very, very possible, and they should do that very, very soon. For Polkadot and Chainlink to remain the best in their class as well, that's very possible for them to do. So that's why I'm continue to hold these price targets for these projects. Now, let's wrap this up by taking a look at Bitcoin, because there is a huge warning which is playing out, and I think a lot of people are getting way too excited, and it's really important right now in this type of market, you're very, very careful who you listen to in this market, because everybody's going to start getting excited on the internet now, and you need to stay level-headed, you need to stay rational, and if you need to wait a little bit longer to get confirmation on before you enter a position, that's absolutely fine. Even if that means you miss by a couple of percent, who cares, right? Who cares at the end of the day? You need to get confirmation, let the data lead you, not a bunch of people on Twitter or YouTube or anybody else who's getting excited right now. And you remember my video earlier today, I said we need to get a clean volume breakout on the daily candle from this level. Now, I also told you I FOMO'd in on an hourly trade, which is just me being human, and it was a tiny bit, and I didn't really scale it up. To scale it up, what the textbook pattern is, you want to see a daily candle volume breakout from here. I said this morning, you can go back and watch it. A daily volume candle breaking out from here, plus another green candle tomorrow to confirm the entry point, and then I personally would go long with size. As you can see, my fear is starting to come true. I was worried about this type of candle effect happening, where you had a big wick to the upside, and then you get thrown back to the downside as the bears take control with a fake out. We're seeing that happen now. We're getting pushed back into our channel. It's still a green day. Volume is not too exciting at the bottom just here. You really want some skyscraper volume with a nice strong green candle pushing through that channel. And unfortunately, if I zoom into the hourly, you will see how through the day Bitcoin lost some steam, right? It managed to break out, and then it curled back over to the bottom, and it's struggling to retest and bounce. It looked like at one point it looked like it was going to go run earlier this afternoon at about 4 o'clock my time, which is about 4 hours ago, but then it fell 4 hourly candles to the downside. Now we've gone back into the channel, so we need to keep an eye on this. Can it keep its uptrend? Can it manage to somehow just keep doing this on the hourly channel and keep working its way up? Or are we going to get thrown to the downside? Be very, very careful if you're in a long position. Have a tight stop loss, because what has happened? We've seen this pattern play out for a long time, and the bears have been in control. So it'd be irresponsible for you to not assume once we go back into the channel that this is going to happen, right? Because that is what's proven 1, 2, 3 times already. We'd be irresponsible not to assume that. And once we get to the bottom, chances are we could be seeing lower prices there or further down. That is why I continue to hold the angle that we could be seeing 17,600. We've not nullified this pattern. We're not out of this bear flag yet. So I don't know why everybody's popping balloons and celebrating just yet. Let's get the clean breakout. Let's get through this level. Let's hold 22,700, sorry, first, then 24,000, and then we can say, okay, it looks like we're reversing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you want to see my detailed Polygon MATIC price target and whether I think it can realistically 40x from here, go and watch the video. I'm going to link up here. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.